at PayneAutoGroup.com. You're listening to News Talk 710, KURV. The Sergio Show with Sergio Sanchez. Rapid fire headlines.
Happy Monday, happy Monday. We're broadcasting from the J. Gonzalez Injury Attorneys, ready to fight for you, HQ in Edinburgh. And Jesse should be joining us momentarily. In the meantime, let's catch up with some of the day's news. And you may want to check your side, see when you're driving. You might have a few more DPS. And they're looking at you, amigo. They're looking at you because it's an annual campaign to try to give tickets to individuals who are texting and driving and folks who are not stopping or pulling over for emergency vehicles.
Each year, the Texas Highway Patrol conducts a distracted driving traffic enforcement campaign with the goal of ensuring drivers across the state are safe behind the wheel. During last year's campaign, the Texas DPS issued more than 79,000 citations and warnings for speeding, texting, and driving, and failing to follow, move over, or slow down laws. There will be an increase in troopers on highways across the state from April 6th through April 13th. Officials say they're already seeing the consequences of distracted driving this year and say every driver has a responsibility to stay alert and follow traffic laws.
A new report on how expensive it is for Texas taxpayers to pay public employees.
The amount of tax dollars funding local government employees is skyrocketing.
Taxpayers are absolutely getting hosed every which way when it comes to local government salaries.
James Quintero with the Texas Public Policy Foundation says the average worker for the city of Austin is being paid twice as much as the city's median income. And in San Antonio, the head of the Harlandale School District is paid $630,000. That's tops in the state. This, he says, is why property taxes keep going up.
A local note, a doctor from Weslaco, 70-year-old James Robles in the news, facing federal charges for allegedly prescribing millions of pills, including very strong semi-synthetic opiate painkillers. All this in exchange, according to the feds, all this in exchange for millions of dollars in cash. Dr. Robles could face up to 20 years in prison for each of the three charges that he is currently facing. Check the freezer. Food safety officials are warning everyone not to eat certain frozen chicken nuggets after tests found that there were dangerous levels of lead in those nuggets. The U.S. Department of Agriculture Inspection Service issued the public alert for the dinosaur-shaped, ready-to-eat chicken nuggets sold under the Great Value brand over at Walmart. The recall was not issued. Why? Well, they're not on sale anymore. They've already been sold. They're in freezers, likely nationwide. So again, don't eat them. Might have too much lead. It is best if used by date on it is February 10th, 2027. The Trump administration is reportedly going to impose new tariffs on pharmaceutical companies.
The White House says it will levy a 100% tariff on name brand medications and their active ingredients, with exceptions for companies that have committed to building U.S. manufacturing plants or struck trade agreements with the administration. Companies that lower the prices of their pharmaceuticals will also be eligible for lower tariffs. The move comes shortly after the Supreme Court ruled that many of the Trump administration's tariffs imposed last year were unconstitutional. I'm Tammy Trujillo.
President Trump set to hold a news conference today, noontime. He'll be providing some information on how they rescued a downed pilot in Iran, give a status report on the war against Iran. Noontime, that means it's during the Dana Lash program. So Dana's usually pretty good about going to press conferences, picking up some of the audio. So join us at noon for that conversation from the White House. So much rain this past weekend. We had reports about 3 inches of rain, between 2 and 3 inches of rain in many of the reporting stations. We got so much rain in Edinburgh, though. UTRGV, they called off their scheduled game against Houston Christian University. It will not be rescheduled. Too soggy, too wet. The field is too wet for them to play baseball. Well, that's a nice problem to have. We haven't been able to say that in quite some time. UPS says that they have an agreement with the Teamsters Union to cap severance offers, the agreement allowing UPS to offer 7,500 truck drivers $150,000 for early retirement. They have been bloodletting at UPS by the tens of thousands. In fact, the company in January said they plan to cut 30,000 jobs and shutter 24 facilities by the end of the year. Why? Well, if you've been paying attention, what is it that we have over in Brownsville right now? Brand new shiny building that's delivering packages to everybody. That is an Amazon distribution node, right? And it's hurting UPS as far as their bottom line. They're having to let go of drivers likely to be picked up by Amazon, in my opinion. You may think that you know how old you are based on your age. Of course, you've got a number for that. But have you checked under the hood when it comes to the wear and tear? How old are you biologically?
Yes, you know you were born on X date and how many trips you've taken around the sun, but it's what's happening at the cellular level that counts. And now there are test kits sold online for hundreds of dollars that determine biological age based on your body's wear and tear. Dr. Douglas Vaughn, the director of the Longevity Institute at Northwestern University School of Medicine, says these tests, some saliva-based, others blood-based, can figure out health span, which is the number of years you're likely to live without developing a chronic disease. I'm Sarah Lee Kessler.
And the latest jobs report that came out late last week, 178,000 jobs. That is 3 times what had been forecast.
This report takes into account the first 2 weeks of the conflict with Iran. It'll be really interesting now looking into the next report. That'll take into account the duration of this conflict. If this number shifts upwards or downwards, war doesn't tend to spark a hiring frenzy. But so far in this report, it shows that our economy and our labor market was resilient even amid the conflict.
That is reporter Alicia Nieves. Time is 9:45. The Sergio Show on News Talk 710 KURV. We're broadcasting from the J. Gonzalez Injury Attorneys HQ, ready to fight for you. Thank you to our supporter this hour, Chamberlain Roofing and Waterproofing, ChamberlainLTD.com. Latest on the Iran headlines, and our friend Jessica Rosenthal for Fox News is reviewing all that information. So quite the eventful weekend. So let's go back to late last week and what happened this weekend, the rescue mission, all that stuff. So what you got, Jess?
Well, let's start with the latest, right? So we're expecting a press conference from the president here later today, probably to talk about all of this. But he wrote in a Truth Social post Sunday that Tuesday will be power plant and bridge day, all wrapped in one in Iran. And demanded that the Strait of Hormuz be reopened, threatening on Sunday to reporters, elaborating on this post that if no peace deal is reached with Iran in the next 48 hours, quote, we're blowing up the entire country. Of course, the president has previously talked about targeting power plants, other types of infrastructure. Lots of Iranian activists begged him off that, said, please, you'll be hurting the people that you are trying to protect and help. We'll see what comes of that. But this all followed after Iran shot down one of our F-15E jets, 2 pilots ejected. One was rescued, as we now know, relatively quickly. But the other, it took at least more than a day to find him, to get him and extract him. And it's being described as one of the most harrowing operations in U.S. military history because of where he was, deep inside enemy territory. He was injured, apparently climbed 7,000 feet.
Jeez. And
lodged himself into a crevice in a mountain. He had a beacon, he had a locator, which they're instructed to only use intermittently because when you use it, your enemy can help find you as well. So it was an incredibly difficult operation. It required quite a bit of logistics, commandos, others responding to go get him, and also a certain amount of bombing campaign to distract the Iranians and keep them away from the area while U.S. forces went in. We did get him. He is injured. He's now being medically treated in Germany, and the president says he will be okay. But this was obviously a tremendous moment for our military. It is also problematic, as you could probably guess, because it means that Iran still has capabilities. They do still not only have capabilities in the Strait of Hormuz, attacking ships over the weekend, but also clearly some air defense systems that were clearly used and deployed in order to shoot down one of our jets.
My goodness. Okay. And this press conference at noon today, I know the objective is to recap what happened this past week. But I'm sure the administration is going to be peppered, like about 30 seconds left, with all the international efforts. I think, who is it? Pakistan trying to broker a ceasefire at the moment. I think that's the only country that's doing that at the moment. Okay, Jessica, thank you for the report.
I think there's I think there's some other countries involved as well, but Pakistan was taking the lead. You're right.
All right. Thank you, Jessica. That's Jessica Rosenthal for Fox News.
For over a century, one name has stood for quality, safety, and service in the commercial roofing and waterproofing industry: Chamberlain Roofing and Waterproofing. While our services have grown, our commitment to safety, ongoing training, customer service, and attention to detail has remained the foundation of our success, ensuring our teams are prepared, our customers are protected, and our projects are delivered with excellence.
From roofing and sheet metal to waterproofing and caulking, leak repair and preventative maintenance, and even full building and parking garage restoration, Chamberlain delivers professional, personalized results every time.
From large-scale roof replacements or quick leak repair, Chamberlain Roofing and Waterproofing provides top-quality installations at a competitive price, all with the spirit of cooperation for our valued clients.
Now serving Rio Grande Valley and throughout Texas, you can count on Chamberlain Roofing and Waterproofing to deliver more. Call 956-655-6178 or visit ChamberlainLTD.com to learn more.
Looking for equipment you can trust from a name that stood strong for more than 50 years, half a century? Rivetta's Machinery in Donna has been serving the Rio Grande Valley since it was founded by Tomas Rivetta, a man who built his business on hard work, firm handshakes, and treating every customer like family. Today, his grandson Thomas carries that same name and that same commitment forward. 3 generations strong and still family-owned. They're your trusted Coyote dealer, offering the full lineup of Coyote equipment. Powerful Coyote tractors built tough for Texas land, heavy-duty skid steers, smooth-cutting zero-turn mowers, rugged utility vehicles, equipment that's built to work as hard as you do. And here's the best part. Right now, with credit approval, they're offering 0% interest financing on all Coyote equipment, making it easier than ever to put a brand new Coyote to work on your property. From Tomas to Thomas, the tradition continues. Join the tradition of family service, hard work, and dependable Coyote equipment. Rivetta's Machinery on the Expressway in Donna, 3 generations strong, your hometown Coyote dealer. See dealer for full details.
If you bought a new electric vehicle in 2025, you may qualify for a tax credit. I'm Hillary Barsky with your Fox Business Tax Tip coming up.
2026 marks 250 years of America, and throughout the year, Bill Hemmer takes listeners on a journey through the 250 most impactful moments in American history. Listen and follow now at foxnewspodcasts.com.
You might be entitled to a tax break on the electric vehicle you purchased, but CPA and tax attorney Alan J. Strauss says it depends on
manufacturer. There are limited credits for limited models. Depends on when you bought the EV. It's very dependent, very time dependent, and very specific to the particular model that you bought.
However, federal electric vehicle tax credits expired on September 30th, 2025. So there are no federal credits available on vehicles purchased after that date. Hillary Barsky, Fox News.
Audio streaming on KURV.com. Powered by South Texas Buick GMC, McAllen Mission.
The Sergio Show on News Talk 710 KURV. We're on the road as we normally are on a Monday. We're at Jay Gonzalez. injury attorneys ready to fight for you HQ in Edinburgh. And Jesse's with us again. Make sure all the microphones are turned on, muchachos. We got to go with Jesse now. Did you get any rain this weekend, buddy?
Lots of it, sir.
Yeah.
You
Did
know,
get flooded a little bit?
I was asleep when it happened, but I saw the water line in the morning when I woke up, and
you just reminded me of something I wanted to say this morning.
What's that?
I normally have like a little fan. They're going to have like a small fan that's on in the room. That way, if the boys are making noise on the other side of the house, or let's say you hear a dog barking 2 or 3 houses down, right? It drowns out it's some like white noise. It drowns out some of the stuff that might wake you up. I turned off the fan on Sunday and just enjoyed the sound of the rain hitting the roof and the droplets and all that, right? That's a beautiful sound. We don't get enough of that down here.
No.
Hey, are your shoes shined?
Yes, thank you.
I brought the shoe shine for you today. Where's Mario?
I know he's in the house. He's in the house.
A mobile shoe shine expert, award-winning expert. You had a chance to meet him last week?
I got to meet with him last week here in my office, and I said, hey, you and Serge are buddies. Come on over on Monday, and I'll bring 4 pairs with me. So he's in my personal office right now, back there with George.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, I'm excited.
Somehow I thought this would be like a different setup. Maybe you'd be sitting there and Mario would be going like shining and shining your shoes. What was it? I don't know. You and I have been talking about shoe shining for the longest time. You have an obsession over this. Like, when did that start, dude? When did you start obsessing?
Well, it's you go to Mexico City, and there's 10,000 shoe shiners. I've got dress shoes. I don't have time to shine my shoes, and so there's downtime, and you got 5-10 minutes. Guys there, and part of it is shine my shoes, and another part of it is let me help this guy out. He needs some business, and they charge 40 pesos, Serge. It's like $2.
Yeah,
basically. And down here in McAllen, I think it's minimum of $8 per shoe if you go to the mall or airport. And so
boots are like $20, right?
Yeah. Well, no, that's 12.
$12?
It's eight shoes, 12 boots.
Yeah.
Something like that.
And with a tip, once it being like 20.
And so I do 200 pesos in Mexico just to be generous instead of 40. I more than triple what they charge just to help them out. And then I just out of pure habit, next thing I know, now it's a thing. If I go to Mexico City, I'm going to get my shoe shined. I mean, it's just part of the ritual, part of the routine. And it seems like a lot of men in that city, that's what they do. They've got their shoes shined. I mean, you got 10,000 shoe shiners. You're going to get your shoes shined somewhere. They're in every corner. But they're not all the same. Some are better than others. And so I have found 2 that are just very, very good. They take a lot of pride in their work. And so I try to find them, and I always know where to find them. One of them's right outside of the Intercontinental Presidente Hotel, and the other one is right outside of the St. Regis Hotel. And they do a great job.
I think I should have clarified this before I asked Mario to come out here. You're not paying Mario in pesos, are you?
Well,
he lives over here in America.
I brought that up, and I said, what kind of currency are we going to be using here? Are we talking about Mexican pesos, Colombian pesos?
My buddy's a dapper Don.
Swiss francs.
He dresses real nice. He reminds me a lot of you. He
does.
Dresses real nice.
He does.
Real nice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Unlike my radio staff, he showers and shaves like daily.
Yeah, it's a lost art. You don't see that a lot.
You got to take care of my boy.
Yeah, of course.
Did you meet the pooch, his doggy?
We talked about his dog.
Yeah.
We talked about his service dog, and we had a nice conversation over that. And it's great to see him here.
Hey, let's recognize the folks. Remind them all the online platforms you have, and say hello to anybody you want to say hello to. right now?
Yeah, no, I mean, it's Jay Gonzalez, top lawyer on Instagram, and then Jay Gonzalez Injury Attorneys on Facebook. And yes, I think we had some stuff going on this weekend, or we have stuff coming up.
Okay, check the calendar.
Let me see here.
These are some of the events that you probably are doing the staff for.
So my team wants me to talk about some of my traveling experiences, and I'm gonna just say a little bit about where I was recently. I went to Colombia, Bogota, and I did that because I made the mistake of booking a flight with Copa Airlines. We've all heard stories about Spirit Airlines and some of these airlines that don't have the greatest reputation. They're very cheap. They're very inexpensive. But then, yeah, exactly. So it's already happened to me twice with Copa Airlines, where you purchase a ticket, they give you a confirmation, they send you an email saying you're all set, and you forget about it. And then a day before, I'm trying to look to see, okay, well, when is my flight? Let me get my boarding pass. And then instead, I get an email, or I find an email, sorry, we're going to refund your money because your bank did not confirm payment, which is very odd because that confirmation is instantaneous. You either gets approved or declined. It's not you're approved, and then a day later or 2 days later, we didn't get paid. And so when that happened, I was stuck in Costa Rica, not a bad place to be stuck at. And so I needed to find flights back to the Dominican Republic because that's where I wanted to go. And I just couldn't get flights last second to the Dominican Republic. Now, I had a hotel that I already bought. I mean, I already reserved a hotel, paid for a hotel. Fortunately, I was able to get my money refunded. And so then I had to reroute my plans. So instead of going to the Dominican Republic, I went to Bogota, Colombia. Now, Bogota, Colombia, just so you all understand, their temperature, their climate, their weather is like it is today year round, just like Mexico City. They're up high in the mountains.
Oh, I see.
And it's a great city and really, really enjoy it. And my favorite part is they've got 2 Four Seasons that are probably the most inexpensive Four Seasons in the world. You can get it for $300-400 a night. And they're great, great hotels and obviously great service. And so I went there, but it's crazy, but in Colombia, it's hard to find a good cup of coffee.
Yeah, you were telling me that last
Costa
time.
Rica, best coffee in the world.
You know what I want to ask you? I don't think you've ever mentioned the Dominican Republic before. Would that have been the first trip?
No, that was going to be my third. And what I was hoping to find was that it was going to be my third, and then the third, and many more to come. My first 2 experiences in the Dominican Republic were not the best. They weren't terrible, but they're not wow. And everybody rants and raves about the Dominican Republic. And so I want to see if, what all this talk is about. And I said, okay, this time, let's do something differently. And so that's where I wanted to go.
All right. This is like the end of a soccer match. Freddie would know. So we're +3 on this one, Freddie. I know we went over a little bit. +3, and then kick me out, Freddie, so we get back on schedule. I got to take some interviews.
I love it.
Is there anything on the schedule you need to mention, like it's on the calendar that you need to something sponsor?
Community events here.
Yeah.
We are going to continue. Let me see. The Pit Boss Showdown Cook-Off and Car Show, full-day community event featuring barbecue teams, car show, vendors, live entertainment. And this is taking place at the Cook-Off Car Show event. Let me see here.
Put a date on there for you?
You know what?
That I guess.
There's no date.
All right. Name it again. What's the name of it again? The something pot.
Yeah. The Pit Boss Showdown Cook-Off and Car Show event. Wow. Where is it going to be held? Where is it at? I guess I'm supposed to know these things just, off the top of my head. But I mean,
look it up on social media. Listen, I got under 2 minutes. Tell me about the staff. What's going on? What's new?
No, we're doing great. I mean, we're busy. I mean,
which, by the way, you're welcome to come back during the week. We need to talk about barratry. I know there's stuff.
Oh,
that's
that's right. That's right. That's right.
I don't think 2 minutes will do it justice.
No.
Just tell me about the staff, but come on back and see
Sure.
me. Let's have an extended conversation about.
Yeah, we can talk about that. I mean, I did some interviews this past weekend in regards to that. There was a civil lawsuit that was filed against this one lawyer that got caught, and now he's being sued. And one of his employees is was arrested and was charged criminally. And so that's the gist of it, right? But yeah, no, I mean, we're busy every day. We're working through Easter. We're here, just helping people. Obviously, we're available 24/7. And so, happy to help if you need any personal injury assistance.
So you were like Walmart through Easter. You worked through Easter.
Yes, like Walmart, and apparently like Papa Do's. So I went to.
I see they were open. Oh, that's true.
I went to Papa Do's, but I wanted to barbecue. I wanted to grill my steaks. Well, I couldn't get any steaks anywhere because everything's closed. So I went to Papa Do's and I said, I'm going to buy 4 steaks, and I just want them raw. And they're like, sir, you understand we're going to charge you for those steaks just as if we cooked them here for you.
Okay.
And I said, that's fine. So they sell me the steaks, full price, raw. And I'm driving home and I'm thinking, who does that? Who goes to a restaurant to buy raw food so you can cook it at home and get charged full price?
You know what we did that was during COVID.
Yeah.
I think I went to Papa Do's to get like a dozen eggs or something
but,
like that.
But what does that tell you about the value of the barbecue ritual and what that does when you're in front of a grill, cooking, present, focused? It's therapeutic. And so it's not just about eating the food, it's about the process of preparing the food. And I didn't want to get cheated out of that. And I was willing to pay full price for a fully cooked steak that wasn't obviously even cooked.
I got a story to repeat to friends. You won't believe what Jesse did. He bought some raw steaks from Papa Do's just so he could take them home and barbecue.
Yes.
Good to see you again, brother.
Same here, brother.
All right, be safe. That's Jesse Gonzalez, Jay Gonzalez, injury attorneys. Call 1-800-CAR crash. Anything bad happened to you on the road. God forbid anything bad happened to you. You got to take care of number one, you and your family, you and your huercos. Call 1-800-CAR crash. This is the Sergio Show on Newstalk 710 KURV, times 10:06. This is KURV Edinburgh.
This check of news, a service of Jay Gonzalez Injury Attorneys, ready to fight for you. Call 1-800-CAR crash.
Fox News, I'm CJ Papa. President Trump warns